Hello guys, welcome back to yet another exciting episode right here at the Gamers Talk Show. But definitely this is Mr. G, call me Alex Ochieng, and today we're talking about something social, something that was trending about the male pill in ilikuja juice. Then you ladies were like, it's now high time men also take what? The mandate to do birth control measures and stuff like that. So guys, remember, we are at American Corner, Moi, right here at Baza Plaza, of course, on the Gamers TV. So guys, we're talking about something that has been trending, and you really want to know the social aspect of this thing, like you as a youth who is going somewhere, heading in that direction that was trending, what do you have to talk about the pill? So of course, you can introduce yourself, just tell the audience who you are briefly, at least for Jue.
Okay. My name is Jared Kiprano. I think basically I can say I'm a young Kenyan lady that fully describes the position at which I speak here.
Young Kenyan lady. Nakwambia, talk about young Kenyan lady, kuna msoto hapo, kuna kukula fare hapo, kuna everything. Anyway, right?
Okay, beside I'm a senior citizen of the Republic of Kenya and a debater, public speaker, media enthusiast, and so many things in between. But yes, thank you for hosting me here today.
So many things in between. Senior citizens. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, so what do you mean by you're a senior citizen?
Senior citizen ni ukiangalia hierarchy.
Deep state.
Deep state. Deep inside the state.
Alright, so guys, so there's this thing that has been trending on social media where somebody said that they were working towards something like the discovery of a male contraceptive pill. So basically, you saw what happened. Like ladies were outside there trying to say that sisi pia tumekuwa tukitumia pills kwa muda mrefu in the name of we are doing family planning or birth control measures, right? But now it's high time that we think that men should also come on board and help us with doing birth control measures. So what do you think about let's start with your teacher?
So first, I think we need to demystify the idea that men have not been involved in family planning, because we have the use of condoms, and I think male condoms are way more predominant than female condoms, which are a method of family planning. And secondly, we also have vasectomies, which have not been very well received.
Why?
But they're there. You'd have to ask a guy why not. I don't think I'm in a position to answer that. But honestly, as a lady, I think I welcome, and not because I think it's less burden on me or on any woman, but because we're in a world that is constantly changing, and we're in a world where science is constantly evolving. So if we're open to accepting COVID vaccines, we're open to accepting new methods of treating other things, I don't know why we should have a very inhibited opinion when something comes up, especially because I don't think it has been ruled out. Yeah. So if we're going to say we're accepting science and all the innovation that's coming with science, then maybe we shouldn't have a problem with one. The question actually should be, why is just the male contraceptive pill so controversial when there's so many other scientific innovations coming up?
What does it do? Like, what does it do? Yes, it's a pill, but what does it do to a man?
I feel like it's a to the level at which I understand contraception, it prevents people getting pregnant, unplanned pregnancies.
Actually, on the same note, what does the pill do to the male species? Actually, we are living in a country that, yes, you are seeing so many innovations coming into place. The scientific innovations are here, and we are not saying that they are bad, but look at the process that has come into it. First, these things have been tested on mice, not human beings, right? So the efficiency in mice cannot be equated to the efficiency in human beings. Things will go apace. But again, let's say they're equal in measure, that now the mice biology and the human biology, these two correspond. So here we have the pills, right? So what does it do? The untold story is this thing was even stopped. The trial was stopped. Reason being because they feared for the side effect that it will have on the male gender. So what are this side effect that you're talking about? So what does it do to the male gender? Well, it does several things. We have the feminine side effects, whereby as a man, we may have broader hips. As a man, you may have and then as a man, you may have a soft skin, and it's not like our.
It's not bad. Is it bad to have a soft skin? But about broad as you as a man, proceed.
Yes, and even have to draw or not to draw. You may have to develop what you call small breasts. So this is a sign of the extreme value that this pill is going to bring on the male gender. So again, you'll find that yes, it is here with us, and the major idea and the logic point behind innovating it was to stop pregnancy in women, right?
Yeah.
So I'm begged to ask, what are women themselves doing to prevent themselves from getting pregnant? Because at the long run, I can cheat you, I'm on the pill, and still impregnate you. And when you come around, I'll taruka your mimba, wala nitairuka.
But someone once said, after God, fear women. Unasema like you can go cheat your wife that I'm on the pill, right? My friend na anakupikia, atachukua na changanya kwa hiyo maji, akumwagie na ukarangie chakula and you will eat. So anyway, I'm not saying that women are that wicked.
Can I actually respond to what Muindi here has said? First of all, I don't think anything that is any single thing, whether it's vaccines or drugs, are first tested on human beings, you know?
No, it's never fast.
Yeah, of course, there's usually a process. They test whether it's on mice, and then they test, you know, there's a particular process. So we're just saying that this particular pill has reached the stage at which they're testing on mice. We're not saying that it's going to be rolled out to men without further testing. So one, we need to have a good amount of fact checking when it comes to that. Secondly, because it has not been rolled out to human beings, we cannot now say these are the side effects. You cannot say this has side effects when it has not been used. There are side effects after use. So we need to also fact check on that.
Wow, okay.
And
But
thirdly,
fact checking is because you see, when these things are being developed, you are saying they usually like give out the benefits of this vaccine.
Yeah.
And when they give you the benefits, e.g. the COVID vaccine, they're going to tell you in the long run you're going to be having headaches, in the long run you have severe throat.
but
maybe
after
increased
they have
temperatures.
been used, right?
Not even after, even before, you have a manual to read. This is what I'm submitting myself to.
I'm not saying on you particularly as an individual. I'm saying generally to human beings. You cannot say something causes headaches unless it has been proven to cause headaches. But beside that being beside the point, I think it takes a lot of audacity, you know, for a man to sit and say women should be asked what they have been doing or what they're doing to prevent pregnancy in an era where women use implants, where women get 3 month, 6 month, and 1 year injections, where women use IUDs, where women use contraceptive pills, where women use female condoms. It is preposterous for that question to be posed to all the women around here and asked, what are you doing? We are doing everything, and that is why people are praising the male pill, because it's one thing men are doing.
Well, okay. Definitely. I don't know whether you guys are clapping. Okay, why are you clapping? Maybe because the Sungu is so sweet. But now, let me just bring you guys back a little bit. You know, I remember you saying that you're a debater. I understand why. Now, I was waiting to see. But now, let me bring you guys a little bit. Nyuma kidogo. So, Yumuinwi, let me ask, why are you against the issue of male pills?
Again, it's on so many grounds. First, we are living in a country that has increased teenage pregnancies, right? So what increases the teenage pregnancy is sex. And what brings sex? Because of the intercourse that a man can have with a woman. And we have to trickle down the effect. We have to stop it at a point whereby the women is not getting pregnant. So does the pill guarantee no pregnancy? The question is no, because on the ethical values of it, not so many men, and this is the truth value factor of it, not so many men will take the pill. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Mainly because
So
of the
you are not having a problem with the effectiveness of this pill, but you're having a problem with the behavioral response that men will have toward the drug.
That's one of the grounds to raise. But it does not even solve the bigger picture that you're trying to solve, the innovation of the pill itself. So basically here we are dealing with a bigger problem, and we are trying to like shift the balance from women taking the pills, women taking the what. If you shift that to the male gender,
men helping by taking the pills.
you're just digging yourself a hole and then you're dumping into it. You see, you are not changing anything.
Okay.
Me as Mwindi can come and tell you, hey, Heritage, I'm on my pill, can we do this? How sure are you of taking the pill?
Okay. I want to agree, you know. Weirdly so, I want to agree with him. But before I say why I want to agree with him, I want to also say I believe teenage pregnancies, except for maybe 19-year-olds, happen because of a culture of statutory rape, okay, which is something we will not even get into right now. But when you say, I love the question Muindi is posing, you know, when he says, how am I sure that a man is taking the pill, okay? Because if a man is HIV positive, okay, he will take the, what do you call them? ARVs, right? If a man has any disease, say H. pylori, he will take his antibiotics. So for me, it boils down to an issue of intentionality, okay? And the truth is, as much as this is a controversial topic, would I trust a man? Would I be okay with a man telling me he's taking the pill? Honestly, on a very personal level, as a young woman in this town, no. Because I cannot trust a man.
So
Okay.
you won't trust a man for telling you that yes, I'm on my pills.
No, I cannot. Because if you hear what he's saying, he's literally saying, I don't think as a man I am intentional enough to prevent pregnancy. Because at the end of the day, I know I can always say it's not mine.
So,
and the thing is, sorry to disrupt you. And the thing is, the reason women have been taking contraceptives, or the reason contraceptives are constantly developed for women, is because women bear the bigger burden of childbirth and of bringing up children, okay? And so do I trust a man who speaks with those sentiments to take a pill? I'm sorry, women, I don't know. It's gonna take a while.
All right. So let me just get back to you. Like, Muindi.
Yes.
Now, you don't have any problem taking the pill, or do you have a problem?
I have a problem. I have a problem not because I'm a male myself. I have a problem because my sister, my daughter, or even the female gender at large will be at risk. Will be at risk of.
Let me get you clearly. Why do you have a problem with the pill?
On both genders.
No. You as a man.
Me as a man.
Yes.
Me as a man, because the untold story about this pill, it's effective for 4 weeks, right? If I take this pill today, in as much as the 4 to 6 weeks period is still alive, I cannot impregnate somebody. So the cycle continues again. So if I have to have sex again, I'll have to have it. If I want to get a child, that is, I have to have sex on the 7th week. You see? So that's the point. So if you're not intention to have sex, you have yourself 6 weeks on top of each other, and that is on the pill. And then on that basis, you're seeing that these pills have side effects. So in 1 year, how many pills will have swallowed? And how many side effects will have to bear with?
Now let me ask.
How broad are your hips?
How many? Your problem is having broad hips. That is your biggest problem. So let me ask, how many methods do you know that men can use to prevent pregnancy other than the pill?
Other than the pill, I know, of course, you can use condoms, right?
Which others say it's not sweet, so others just decide to neglect.
I like what you're saying, which others say is 1, 2, 3, because even I as a lady, okay, when I use a pill, and he's saying 1 pill in 4 to 6 weeks, the pills women use is a daily pill, okay, and we use them for years. Even I as a lady, when you use pills, it has side effects, a lot of side effects. When you get the implant, when you get the injections, when you get the IUD, they all have side effects. Okay, and I know women who have struggled through years to find the kind of contraception that works for them. But I also know, of course, for men there's the vasectomy, and there's abstinence. I don't know why it's constantly being thrust out of the window. If you're not ready for the responsibilities that come with sex, you could as well abstain.
I don't know whether you guys just saw my reaction. Why are you throwing out the window abstinence?
Wait, we have another new method.
Will be there.
We have
a full-out method.
Someone is saying abstinence is not a method. Abstinence is not a method.
It's not a method. It's a method. It's a choice.
I mean, every contraception really is a choice, isn't it?
So okay. You've mentioned the use of condoms, abstinence. You mentioned vasectomy, right?
Yes.
Now let's dwell a little bit. Vasectomy.
Plus withdrawal.
Okay. Withdrawal is a behavioral character where we refer to it as an outer course. Like intercourse, and you can just inside there. Let me not mention that. But now you can decide to do it out, which doesn't work in most cases. If you're someone who is doing it for pleasure, you say pleasure is in the what? In the noise. I don't want to say mourn, but I've already done it. But now let's go back to vasectomy. You initially mentioned that it hasn't been received very well.
Yeah.
Your thought as the lady, why do you think that men do not haven't received vasectomy as a method of birth control that way?
I think it's because of the kind of circumstances around vasectomies. Why would a young man take a vasectomy if you still intend to have children? And I know it's reversible, but we've also had cases of people saying, it's not as easy, and I understand that. But I would really love to see older men, especially men who have already gotten through I wanted 3 children and I have 3 children, so I'd want to see how that goes. But also I'm not in that age group, and it's not as easy to have those conversations with men in that age group. So I don't think I can speak for them.
All right.
Yeah.
So Mwendi, you're still young. According to her, she's saying that for a young man who is still sexually active, like she doesn't feel it's okay for this man to go through maybe say a vasectomy. And the reason we're actually having this conversation is in the recent past, like there are these young families, right? People just got into marriages and they're still, hyped, like wanna do this, wanna explore this kind of lifestyle. But then it reaches a point where the lead now starts feeling that, well, na feeling kama tunazaa haraka haraka. They say kuzaa kama sungura, with the economy. They're like, we Africans, we tend to attach the issue of kuzaa to the economy. So like na hii uchumi unazaa watoto wengi. So these people start, throwing blames at each other. Then the element of gender-based violences now come. Then these young families now start separating. This because the women or the ladies feel like I am helpless when it comes to making decisions about me as a woman. Like maybe this woman doesn't want to keep giving back. But now they can't reason together with the man, like on possible ways. So ukisuggestia mtu vasectomy, right? You as a young man who is still sexually active, what would you do if someone suggested a vasectomy?
One thing that the majority does not understand is what vasectomy means. So vasectomy, that is a surgical,
vasectomy.
It is a surgical procedure that
which is minor.
Yeah, it's a surgical procedure. That is it. That a male gender has to go through so that you can prevent your sperms from being
not has to go through. Please, someone mentioned about choice. No, you say it's a small procedure that a male gender has to. It means like at a particular point in time, every man has to go through that.
No. If you choose the option of going to vasectomy, that is, you're going to like have your parts whatever undergo a minor surgical operation that you have your sperm stopped from ejaculating or impregnating a girl. That is short. It's a surgical procedure. What do men go through before you become a man? Circumcision on top of another surgical operation. I think that's the point where so many men cannot go through. And plus, I think, have we exhausted the current method that we have before we go to extreme measures such as those ones? We have condoms and they are 91% effective, 99% effective. So why do you have to go
98? Let's remove the one for those who want to make it fast. So yes, it's 98.
So we're still in safe hands when you have to talk about condoms, and they have been working. Apart from a few scenarios whereby you have busting scenarios and etc. And perhaps past that, I think it's a willing buyer, willing seller negotiation whereby you have to see like, hey babe, it just burst. So what next? That's why now you as a girl or as a woman will have to come in your own step and then prevent yourself from getting pregnant. And that was what you're chatting for. It's not like I've not tried, I've tried, it has failed. And like shouldering the whole burden on me.
I like the tone. And when I say I like, I mean it's a very sarcastic tone. Because
at least I try.
I like the tone at which we are explaining this issue as if it's your responsibility as a woman and then a man helps. That's the word that has been thrown around in this conversation. Help. You're not helping. It's your responsibility just as much. Let's first demystify that. And secondly, if every man was receptive to the constant and correct use of condoms, I don't think we'd be having this conversation, okay? But it's because men are always talking about how condoms are uncomfortable, okay? And how it is, as you said in the beginning of this conversation, not pleasurable. Not my words. I already know I'm not a man.
Wow.
That's the reason, we're having the innovations of things like this pills, okay? But then, and I'm sorry to also cut you short again. It's very important to have a diverse pool of options so that people can choose.
Point blank to you, if men, in your own sentiments, do not comply to the use of condoms, what makes you think they comply to the use of pills?
And that's not a problem about condoms or contraceptives. That's that's an individual problem about intentionality.
Intentionality.
Yeah, I think it's important for men to have choice. If a man does not want to use condoms, if a man does not want to abstain, if a man does not want to have a vasectomy, why can't we have a pill for men like that to choose from?
Why would the man who is married and is sexually active and wants kids decide to abstain?
But then the problem then becomes you only use contraception when if you're in a relationship, if you're married, right? You're using contraception because both of you have agreed we are not at a place we don't want to have another kid. We don't have to want to have another kid, just not now, right? So when you get to that point where you're saying as a woman you're protecting yourself from a man, okay, who wants to have kids and you don't, there's a very big miscommunication. There's a very big imbalance there because it's no longer a contraception issue, it's a relational issue, okay? Because if you're in a relationship, you want to be on the same page. So you're not on the same page about having children, meaning you're probably not on the same page about your finances, you're probably not on the same page about the direction you're taking, then that's a different problem altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we're really attacking ladies. You know, and I'm not supporting Muindi, by the way. Muindi, I can feel like you're just taking sides. Like I'm a man, like I can't go through a vasectomy. Yes, I believe.
But it's true, Alex. It's better for you to shoot at a bulletproof vest than using rubber bullets.
Doesn't that really undermine the decision-making process of men who have chosen to go through vasectomies? I think it's important to note that, and you should probably say this sentence. You should probably say this sentence. I, Muindi, okay?
Hereby declare that I will not go through any vasectomy.
Because a lot of men go through vasectomies. A lot of men are very receptive to the use of condoms. A lot of men abstain, okay? Simply because you do not does not undermine their decision to do so.
I like the way you say a lot. As if you put it on the bigger picture.
Well, I'm very sure I interact with more men on a romantic level than you do, so.
I don't interact with men, I'm not gay, but again.
I would be in a better position to say a lot, right?
I'm not gay. So, me, I'm just championing for myself as a human and a male gender.
Right. So
again, it's the pill.
So it's
champion for better ways.
Getting hot. So, guys, let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we are supposed to talk about now. As a man, why am I, like as she's saying, why does she feel like we men undermine the decision-making process, or maybe saying women, like we tend to expect women to go through these procedures more often than women. So guys, let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, of course, we're gonna have that conversation right here at the Gamers TV. Remember, we are at American Corner Moi, right here at Plaza in Nairobi. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell us what you think. Do you agree with Muindi? For the rest of us. But as you all know, hapa hivi Gamers pia tunakuza talanta. So let us get a piece that is in relation to what we are discussing today. So let us welcome our one and only Valentine.
What?
Our one and only Valerie.
What? No. It was just one time. I only allowed this to happen just one time. It was only one time. I swear it was just one time. Mama, there's something in my mind, something dark, something unwanted. It rides in the middle of the night when I'm alone and you are asleep. It kicks. I can feel it kicks, and I don't want it. I think he gave it to me, that gigantic fellow, without considering my age. He planted the seed of self-doubt inside me, and as it grows, I remember his sweet, sensational words. Hey, beautiful, you're the love of my life. I really like your smile, your vibe. I'm trying to understand. He made me feel like a queen and showed me I was a prized prize. But look at me. Can't you see the roundness of my belly, the swelling of my hips, the widening of my hips, the swelling of my feet? I'm pregnant, yet no one cares. Feeling lost, lonely and confused. Goodbye, my love. Your tiny hands I will never hold. Your dreams I will never pave. Men, if the pill will help us both, then why can't we take it? Do you like us suffer? Do you? Thank you.
Hello guys, welcome back after the break. Yeah, before to the break, we got to throw shades. shits like whew. But now we are back. Tumepoa, tushakunywa maji, tumepoa. But now, before we went for that break, we were talking about something very important about how women interact with our women. Like when it comes to, making decisions, do we allow them to, make their decisions count? So, Mwindi,
Yes.
of course, before to end, you were told something that I don't want to repeat, but you know. So I was asking, why is it that women always find it very easy for us to go, like, we expect our partners to just, do anything that we want when it comes to birth control measures?
Okay, I'll repeat what I was told, that you do not do. I was told she deals with so many men on romantic levels, more than I do. So this is the message that I have.
And did you reply that you too?
No. Okay. I'm not gay. But this is the...
I interact. I am sure I have interacted or interact with more men on a romantic level than you do, which I think is
And you're still
fact.
repeating that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I did not say I interact with very many men on that level. I said I do more than you do.
It's okay, that's why you kind people like this one, that one who needs the pill. This is because, how do you expect, like, you with your so many boyfriends, each of them to take a pill when you are the one, as a single entity, should just take one and save 20 more?
One, the accusations being thrown around here. I did not say, and I need you to understand this, okay? I do not mean that this contraception for men, okay, should be a ticket for women to be
Slutty.
quote unquote promiscuous. That's beside my point, okay? My point is, and if we want to use the same logic, okay? I mean, I can only get pregnant once in a year, in 9 months, right?
And they can get you pregnant, like...
You can get a lot of women pregnant
every
every day in 9 months, right? So really, who should
Mwindi
take
wanted
the
to say,
pill?
Mwindi wanted to say he can get you pregnant today, tomorrow, every day.
After every 9 months, still,
First of all, that's not how it
So
works.
after every single,
But-
after every 9 months, you guys are like getting a child after every 9 months till death do you apart.
it can happen.
My point is,
Maybe true.
you can get, I mean, as a woman, I can only get pregnant once every 9 months, right? As a guy, you can impregnate someone different every day for 9 months, right?
Wow.
So who should take the pill?
Thank you for
Who
acknowledging.
should be on contraception?
Quote unquote, yes, that's true. But the agenda of...
No, question, please answer.
The agenda of every day is wrong. A man cannot impregnate you every day. No, the sperm count per week is like 3 times, I think. 3 or 4 times.
That's not a
Not
me
daily,
issue, that's
but
a you
nonetheless,
issue, right?
But nonetheless, who in his logic mind can going to have like more than 5 or 10 kids?
Are you trying to say that you can't impregnate people every day?
Not me. Me, I have the ability, but under the same measures, I don't think anybody in his right mind can have Joki today, tomorrow, Wanjiru, the other day, Kimani, and etc.
You forgot Anyango.
Yeah, you see, the list is endless, but not one of them going to like bear your child. Actually, the starting when you take you like something of
And
low caliber because all those kids.
I'd love to use your example to bring this issue into light, okay? I feel like we have diverted a lot and these conversations continue to divert because what we're doing in this particular conversation is finding ways to pamper the fragile egos of men, okay? Rather than address the fact, okay, that childbirth and child conceiving is a biological issue, okay? And logically, we should be looking at it from that lens rather than looking at it from how, as a man, what's my sperm count? Oh, as a man, how many people can I impregnate? Oh, as a man, do I get respected? It is irrelevant. I mean, socially, it is not, okay? In what I am referring to as pampering the fragile egos of men.
Wow.
But
I feel
on a
like
biological and
I
logical
feel like
issue.
No.
That ego is not fragile, but let's put a face towards the country that you're living in. Like, for a fact,
Okay.
sex is inevitable. Either you're in a relationship, either you're single. In fact, even those single people, my dear, out there, we know your character traits. They're the kind of people that have more sex than people in a relationship.
Who hurt you now? Why are you
No,
attacking?
it's
Why
true.
are you
It's
attacking
not
them?
happened. Like, those are the kind of people, like, no matter what they're going to be doing in their whole entire life cycle, they're going to have, like, multiple life partners. They're going to have sex with anybody, anytime, because they're not even committed to one single entity. And the funny thing is, most of them are women. And now we are here telling them, like, no, we're not going to, like, be taking pills, let the man take it for you. You get it? And I'm somebody's else husband, like you, and you're just like a random Mubaba.
Okay.
Let's just put the way it's supposed to be done. And then why should I take a pill on your behalf?
I like
And
how
you're the one
you
who's
put
coming
it.
to do
I
it.
really love how he puts it, on your behalf, which takes me back to what I've been trying to say. You're not, as a man, you're not taking this pill to prevent pregnancy on anyone's behalf other than yourself. You hold equal responsibility to these choices.
Now let me ask you.
It's true, yeah, it's true. But the face value of all these things.
Let me just ask you a
Umesikia
question.
ni mangapi zimeruka juu?
Let me just
How
ask you a
many?
question. Like, why do you think, like, why do you put it that you are doing it for, like, on behalf of this woman and not for you? If you guys are in a relationship,
Pregnancy is always like perceived to be a woman's thing, and that's the truth value of it. Nowhere will you see a man carrying a baby in his own stomach. Nowhere. So,
but you can carry it in your own.
but I can be the instigator, like I can be the one who's making you pregnant, right? But after that, we have seen so many cases of nakupatia 15K endo abort. You get? We have seen so many cases of mtoto si wangu. You get? So those are the things that you are trying to solve.
Now,
Not
don't you
like-
think that you're trying to solve them by still preaching the same gospel of guys just walking around without taking the pill? How are we solving that? Because the pill, as they say, the pill is supposed to be outside there for us to know, to use it. Because inafanya nini reduce, maybe say sperm count, or in a kill the sperm, or whatever that is. So how are you trying to solve it by saying that no, men, let us continue the same lifestyle. Let us not accept the usage of this pill.
Yeah, that's the thing. The status quo should remain the way it's supposed to be. Because initially I've said, and I'm still repeating, we have other methods that work less effectively than you bringing in pills and other extreme measures that are going to come and alter my biological composition.
That are not working even at the moment.
That's the point. That's the point. Because naturally you'll feel like so many men in the boys' club, you are on a firstborn. Oh, we should ukitumia pills for the last 2 years. Now you cannot even get. You get.
No,
The side
that's the
effects.
point. That's the point. Let me now just jump in a little bit. Now you've been using the pills for 2 years. Now you can't get a child, right? This is now for those who are in the boys' club. What about these women who you expect to be taking the pills every single time because you assume that pregnancy is for them? Don't you think that they also have side effects?
Kazi ya mwanaume ni kuzalisha, right?
Ni kumwaga mbegu, eh?
That's the point. Hiyo ndio kazi yako.
And we're going back. I love
How
how
he's
this
putting
point
it.
is making itself you know, because when you say kazi ya mwanaume ni kuzalisha, when you talk about being in a boys club, we're still going back to you pampering your ego, you're comparing yourself to 1, 2, 3, you want to fit in, and that's no longer a contraception issue. And what I'm trying to say is, I love how you're saying there are other methods of contraception, there are, but what happens for men who would rather appeal to condoms? What happens for men who would rather appeal to vasectomies? Why are they not being embraced in this conversation? You do not need to, no one's pushing you, no one's forcing you to use a pill. It's just being put out there so that men who embrace it can use it.
But what I don't know, or maybe if you are going to ask those who are like having the same procedures that you are propagating that they went through, if you had one on this panel,
Okay.
I'm so sure you'll have like negative effects and regrets why you went through the same system because of things he was not taught.
Now,
Maybe. But again, let's look at this the bigger way. Children. So you see, like there's a point whereby you reach as a woman. I cannot subscribe to like having sex with you without a condom or with a condom. You have the power to say no to me. Literally, you can put off the sex scandal. Like you're not entering me without, and that is the whole power of a woman. Why not maximizing that?
So you know you
Before
give
you come
out,
and blame me.
you give an example, okay? So one, to address that issue, I bring 2 points. One, he actually mentioned, he has constantly mentioned that I'm a married man, okay? So what if I'm a married woman and I have conjugal needs, of which they're no longer needs at that point, they're rights. So you're saying that I should not allow
What
women.
are your sexual
A
standards?
second.
What are your
If
sexual
I am a
standards?
married woman, my sexual standards should be my husband, right?
Or I really think that there's a back and forth, like you trying to, as she says, men are trying to pamper their ego, while men also feel like, apana, when it comes to sexual issues, like women are supposed to be doing this and this and this and this. So I just want us to maybe just briefly, like, tell the audience, like those who are watching us, those who are right here with us, tell them what is your take, like on this whole issue. Do you support the fact that yes, there's a discovery that is supposed to bring some kind of a balance when it comes to sexual decisions in different families? Like, do you support the usage of pill when it comes to birth control, or you don't? Like, just briefly.
Say briefly, as a take home, my viewpoint is yes, there's a discovery and an innovation that has been put forth, whereby we are seeing pills being developed to like help men stop impregnating women. But I think that is one of the worst inventions that has ever been put forth by the scientific genre only by itself. This is because on one hand, it's trying to like stop men from impregnating women, right?
Really?
What does that do?
Your take.
It reduces the manpower. The number of children days are going to come down, but yes, let's just look at this way. The side effects of a pill and the side effects of a condom. The pills is much worse. We can do without a pill. But for a condom, so well married. And for you ladies who deal with men that do not want to use a condom, it's your time now to up your sexual standards. Say no to that man and protect yourself. It's better again to shoot at a bulletproof vest than to use rubber bullets. And that is for me, yes.
I'll be
A
like,
condom is the way, yeah, better
that was
measures.
a good English. Right, that was
Say
the
no
take.
to pills, my guys, say no to pills. And for as many as for those opinions say aye.
Aye.
As
Yes,
many of the contrary opinions like they do say nay.
it's evident, like everybody is saying aye, they are just like male voices. Let's also hear what the ladies have to say.
I must admit, okay, I am a bit disappointed.
In-
I'm flabbergasted by the trajectory a part of this conversation has taken. But my take would be I love the innovations. And I want them to continue. Okay, I love the pill, but I don't love them for women. I love them for men. I love that we're giving people wider options to choose from. Okay, I love that men are getting more options to say I don't want a baby, and I have choices as to how to prevent them. For me, it goes down to that. It goes down to that. It's not a gender issue. It's no longer a gender issue. It's just a biology issue. I love that when we have more innovations of how both women and men can prevent unplanned pregnancy. Okay, it's a pool where men can choose from, and I love that for them. Yeah, that's my take.
All right. So thank you very much for.
You should have asked her what else should women do to prevent themselves now that you're championing for equality.
Well, I mean, what else should women do? I mean, you should just mention a list of everything that women do to help in birth
Actually, I do
control.
have an answer. Women, stay away from men who will embarrass you.
Wow. Men follow women who are trying to stay away from this. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say, on my take on this one, but I'll just start by trying to recounter what Muindi said about the issue of complications. I mean, this is something that is biological. It is something that is medically tested, right? Just like the issue of IUD, whatever, it's the implants. Like every single woman who is going to take those implants, like they have to beat some tests to find out the compatibility, like which one works best for them. So this pill, I as a microbiologist, I would say, this pill, you're complaining about it being used on mice and then on binadamu. So we've got these lab organisms, lab animals that are used to do biological tests before something is actually done to like approved. So for just like the implants in women, this pill also has to undergo several tests before it is put out publicly that it's supposed to be used. So the question is that you're supposed to be asking yourself is, why am I supposed to be saying complaining about me using a pill that has been scientifically tested to be correct, na yet nataka sistangu ama mke wangu aendelee kuitumia? You see, I'm not saying that it is bad. Like if that is the kind of mentality you have, it's okay. But kindly work towards changing it. Like making decisions should not necessarily depend on the man, right? Like we are living in a generation whereby all our ideas, all our thoughts, all our reasonings, our decisions, they need to correlate. So So if you're having issues in your relationship or in your house, whether when it comes to birth control, sit down, talk. Let men stop nursing their ego and pampering them. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. That's all we do right here at the Gamers Talk Show. We talk about the negatives, the positives. Then you choose which one you want. Do you want to go with Muindi, you're the man, or do you want to go with Che? Cherotich. You want to go with Cherotich? So guys, that is what we had for today. But please, comment. Najua hujatosheka. Like you still wanted to tell Muindi something, but because of the time and every other factor that are involved, that we have been forced to end this conversation abruptly. But we're having a part 2. We're going to have a part 2 of this one. Of course, but nataka kuongelea hizo vitu. No. So we're going to organize a part 2 for this same topic. So guys, comment, share, like, subscribe. Tell us what you think about this conversation. Do you want to counter Muindi's opinion, or maybe for those of us who are in studio, as you always do, any of you who maybe has a suggestion, point out, insight, briefly, as we wind up the show.
Of course, I'm on her side. This is on a light joke, on a light note. Vile mnasemanga wanaume.
It's a joke. It's alright.
No, nasema the way mmekatia dem na mwambia willing to give the whole world and all. Mbona the kid is not in kwa hiyo world?
My part of the world.
Feeling to appeal to her. Right? Again, why? Wait. Again. You love this guy. Mbona this is one thing. At least we agree so much. The lady is doing so much. We agree. Alafu, the reason why you guys are against this film is because ndio imeingia haikuwa. Kama hiyo issue imekuwa ya dem, kama hiyo film ya dem, hamngekuwa against hiyo video kwa junior men. But because Julia imeingia hivyo immediately, you guys are so much against it. But tell us from
just
now,
like COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes.
Just like COVID-19 vaccine, everyone was like, I can't take that.
Yeah.
I can't take that.
Period. So kama ni 10 years from now, utapata it will just be something else. Ni normal.
10 years from now, people like Muindi will have go deep procreate and fulfill that.
So
10 years.
you choose between the two of you who is taking their pill. Period. Mko against it too. It's just new. There's nothing much about it. Hakuna kitu kinakata.
Can I respond to her question?
Okay,
fine.
You guys want to ask questions amongst yourselves?
Kimjibu ati amesema kumpatia. Kwani mkutano na msichana umemwambia ati utampatia ati kumpatia zawadi. Hiyo mambo mnafanya hiyo kuelewana. Yaani saa kama mtafanya hiyo mtakusema vitu. Lazima kwanza umwambie kule pia. So mie kukondo vikuu hakuna story ya pills. We know there is side effects kwa sababu hata msichana akichukua kuna side effects zake, si ndio? Sasa umwambie yes. Vile mimi nimekataa hata
And I'd love to.
Okay. I don't know why you guys are getting bitter. I don't know why you guys are getting bitter.
Yeah. The sleeping pills. Yes, gonna say effect. Every drug has a side effect.
So basically here, according to a logic point, she wants men and women to suffer equally.
No.
I suffer. Yes, completely. Because she's completely. Our whole idea is women have gone through a lot, and it's time for men to take up the pill so they can
But why are you so against it when you were the one who was seated here telling us how, first of all, you're circumcised, and then this is another one. Yes, we also give birth. Yes, we also. Yeah.
Why do you want to change a working system? You already have a system that is already in place. Women are the ones taking this pill, and it's working for you guys. Why do you want to change a working system?
Right. That vitu pill do you know how much it can change a little?
Why were you having unprotected sex in the first place?
Wait. Okay, let me.
Why?
Okay. Let me interject. We're talking about side effects. Kuna wasichana wenye wakitumia CD, they get rashes.
Yeah.
So if your partner was that type of a lady, would you still insist on using CD? Yeah, or me, but because you're protecting something because that would be a pain.
you are saying
When was the last time?
Alex,
Okay,
let's get the example or the analogy from the lady on the panel.
Let me get that.
The CDs are reactive, right?
Yeah.
It is true to some, but tell us safe days. That's correct.
So
I'd love, yeah, and it's okay that he's mentioned safeties because, first of all, no one woman has a regular period, so you can't always say these are my safeties. And secondly, I shouldn't have to risk it and spend the rest of the next 2 weeks of my cycle thinking, did I not, am I not, when there are other options to take. And secondly, I feel like this issue, just I know I had given my last take, is an open mind issue because she's raised a very important issue. If we were used and people had seen this thing coming before and it had lasted a while longer, I don't know if we'd have the same reaction. Okay, so it's an open mind issue, and honestly, there's a bit of hypocrisy that is in this conversation because we're hearing a lot of side effects, yet for years no one's talking about the side effects that women have to encounter for contraceptives that are being given to women. And you even said they're tested for compatibility. The truth is, women are not tested for compatibility. You try, you just try. The drugs are, and you try, and if it doesn't work for you, you shift, and that could take you years. We just need to have an open mind and have an open conversation of, if it has side effects for you, what are the side effects for me, and how do we come together to counter that together? Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I just want to see a man on a pig with broader hips, and then you just tell me what this thing is doing to our society. Completely. But that's the thing. That is, it's documented. You have to start engaging. You start have feminine effects. But again, the side effects on women on about the
well.
Let me ask you a question. Unasema kwa zile changes kwa them, hips broaden, wrist, spine. Does it happen to every day?
Wow.
You can just say yes or no.
Yeah, referring to the lady in your right. Does it happen to every lady clearly?
Okay, we are using another example.
But also the side effects you're talking about.
Okay, so allow me to interject the discussion and all that. Excuse me, the guy, you already showing your hips. Shut up to me, please. So guys, let's just wait there. Of course, as she said, this is an open-minded kind of a discussion. Like what you stand for is very different from what the other person is standing for. So that's why you're trying to cultivate this culture of communication, like speaking your mind so that you can come into some kind of what consensus. But now, as you say, talk to us on our social media platforms at Gamers Groove Entertainment. Tell us what you think. Just tell us what you think and subscribe, share, like, follow, and let us interact. Gamers all the way. I was your host, Mr. G.